Welcome back to Insight. We're reporting from London's Ideal Home exhibition, having a look at the technology available in the modern home. Now, if I ring this doorbell, I will see a young man called Ben come to the door from Andrew Lucas. And
hello.
Welcome to the programme. Now, tell us, this doorbell looks like just a button, but it's actually more sophisticated than just that.
Yes, it is. So what will happen is when you press the button, obviously it will echo throughout the house, so everybody will hear it. But you will also get a notification on an iPad or an iPhone or even on a touchscreen inside. And what it will do is you can see who's at the door. You can talk to them as if you're on FaceTime or something like that, and you can also let them in. So
there's video camera technology built into this.
Video camera
plate.
technology built into it, and yeah, what it will do is, say you're in the example of the garden, you could say, right, okay, I know who's at the door, I'm going to let them in without having to go to the door and physically letting them in yourself. Okay. So the height of laziness.
Right, well, let's make our way into the house then as we come through the doorway and can just see the technical screen we've got here. What's the purpose of this one, Ben?
So this is a smart security system. Obviously what we've done is we've integrated it in with the doorbell, so you can have a live security feed from the front door. If you had any security cameras in your back garden or inside the property, for example, you could also have those attached to it. It's interesting in that it's a graded security system, so grade 2 or grade 3, which is what you want if you want an insurer to say, okay, we're actually going to insure your house with you've got a proper security system in. But it also has some interesting features as well. So for example, you could partition your property. Say for example at night time you wanted the downstairs to be alarmed, but upstairs if you want to go to the bathroom, you don't want that alarmed, so you could split the property in two in that way. Or if you've got an office and you want that to always be armed when you're not in.
Or maybe if Granny or Grandad's living in, they can have the separate arrangements for their room.
That's also true, yeah. You could do that as well.
Okay.
The other thing you can do is you can check whether your windows and doors are alarmed at the same time. So you can say, right, at night I'm going to say that one's open, you just go into your security system, check whether it's on or not, and you can say, right, well, the window needs closing, close it up, and then it shows you right there whether it's closed or not. Great if you go out and you're not sure whether you shut the door or not.
Okay, well, let's remember to shut the door, shall we, so we can continue with our conversation as we come through the home. Heating our homes, of course, is something we don't have to do much in the spring and summer, but in the winter time, trying to get the temperature right or being able to make changes to that plan. Tell us how this kind of thing works.
Yeah, so obviously they work just like a normal thermostat would. You turn it up and you turn it down depending on what you want. You can set schedules. This adds a little bit more intelligence in that it adapts to the way that you want to live. So for example, if you have a couple of heating zones and you want, say, your bedroom, you tend to have slightly cooler than your living room, it will learn this behaviour and it will adapt it. So say, okay, the bedroom's going to be 19 habitually, but in the living room we're going to set it to 21. The other thing it will do is when you're not in, it will sense that nobody's in the property and it will just turn it down ever so slightly and save you energy at the same time.
And your offer to homeowners who buy your technology, or your solution I should say, is that you work with a range of providers. You're not actually manufacturing this stuff, you're picking the best that there is.
Absolutely. It's one of saying that no two homes are ever going to be alike, and it's entirely the same with technology. You know, different people are going to want different things. Some people are massive entertainment buffs. They want the latest speakers. They want everything hidden away in the ceilings and so on. Other people focus on the comfort side. They want to be able to control their property when they're not in. And for other people, particularly with young families, security is the biggest thing they've got to worry about. So what we do is we don't push any particular product. We say, right, what are your needs and what are your family's needs, so that when they sit down with us, we go through them and say, right, okay, this is what you need for what. Yeah, here's what we recommend for what you need.
Let's have a look at some of the other things. Smoke and fire. We all want to be kept safe from that. What's particularly special about this?
So, first off, it's self-testing. What it will do is, rather than you having to go around and press a button all around the house, once every month, it will test itself 70, 80 times a day. If there's a problem, say it's got low battery or one of the sensors isn't working, you'll get a notification on your phone and you'll know exactly what needs to be fixed. The other thing is that a lot of these, obviously, well, nearly all of them nowadays, when they go off, they go beep, 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 beep. This is a little bit more intelligent than that. What it will do is it will say smoke has been detected in the kitchen, for example. So not only do you know what the problem is, you know where it is.
Where it is as well.
So, yeah.
It's useful to know.
Absolutely.
All right. Lighting, I wonder sometimes if this is a bit too much for us. Can we really be bothered to put electronics in our light switches?
It's not necessarily about the light switches per se, but yes, you can add intelligence to it, and it does add a lot of interesting things that you can do. For example, if you want to dim the lights when you turn your movie server on, for example, it will do that for you automatically.
Okay.
A lot of people like it so that if they come into a room, for example, the lights come on.
What, motion detection?
Motion
As
detection.
you walk into
As
the
you
room?
come into the room, the lights will come on.
To a determined setting, whichever
Exactly.
you want.
And we've had a couple of clients who they host parties all the time, and what they want is colour changing lights, so that they've got a button that when they're hosting a party, they put on party mode and everything changes.
Oh, right, okay, the full-on disco.
Exactly.
Now, leaks. This is something I hadn't seen in this context before. Obviously, we don't want water or carbon monoxide or anything like that escaping in our home and harming things. Are these very expensive to deploy?
Not particularly. I mean, this, for example, is a wireless setup. All it has is a couple of sensors underneath, battery powered, and it will let you know as soon as there's a leak detected. So you put one under your sink, one next to your fridge, something like that, and it's just constantly on the lookout.
Okay, now we sort of come to the sitting room or the main entertainment room in the house, and you've got a plasma TV and a sound system, which increasingly, of course, people want a sophisticated sound system with their television.
Absolutely, and what we're showing here is Sonos, which is obviously a multi-room system. Again, we specify lots of different types of systems, but the beauty of these are that you could say, for example, the husband could be listening to rock music in the kitchen whilst out in the garden. The kids are listening to whatever they want to listen to while they're playing.
Yeah.
And it makes a big difference to families who love their music but don't necessarily love the same music. And the same goes with video. Nowadays it's becoming a lot easier to say. Everybody wants to watch different things at different times, So you could say, right, you can have a movie on in the living room, but someone else could be watching Netflix up in one of the bedrooms, and so on and so forth. So a lot of modern families, this is the way they consume their entertainment.
Let me just reach over for the remote control here. I see you've got a universal remote, so
Yes.
it makes it really easy to choose the various devices I'm going to play if I want to play some music or I want to watch a movie, say?
Absolutely. So on here you've got things like your Apple TV, your Sonos, Sky, Blu-ray. You've got lighting controls, so you can change the different lighting in the room, and then that also carries over to something like an app like this, where you've got all of the same functionality that you would do on your app as you do on your remote. You can control anything from here, or you can pick up your remote and you can do the same thing.
All right, voice control. To what extent does voice come into controlling our technology these days?
So voice control is something that's becoming more and more popular. It's still of reasonably limited functionality, but it's growing all the time. The Amazon Echo's been around for a couple of years now, and every month there's new types of technology that you can implement.
That's really caught on a bit, hasn't it?
It has, and I think it's captured the zeitgeist of what people want. It's that combination of convenience, in that you can just say, play whatever radio station, all of a sudden magically it comes on, but at the same time it's got enough functionality that you could do some useful things with it.
So do you see more and more control going to voice over time, and we'll be using screens less?
I think so, yeah. I think it's something that isn't necessarily there just yet. It's the sort of thing we're only just starting to put into properties, but I think definitely over the next couple of years, Google Home comes out next month, you're going to see a lot of change happening where voice will become more and more popular, and maybe screen-based control will become less of an issue.
Ben, good to see you around your home. Thank you very much indeed.
Cheers.
Next, the challenge of keeping our homes clean, and here technology can help too. There are any number of automatic vacuum cleaners on the market. This is a new model from the British firm Aircraft Vacuums.
I started the company about 5 years ago. I was a lawyer for 10 years. And I decided I wanted to have my own gig, if you like. I always like gadgets and technology, so we wanted to keep our robot vacuum cleaners very good, but the price we wanted to make vacuum cleaner, within those realms really. So £400 maximum is our target always. So about the price of a good vacuum cleaner, because it may well be a robot, but at the end of the day, it's just vacuuming your floors. So that was our ethos. We wanted to make a very well-priced, well-designed robot vacuum.
So the technology inside it, the software and the electronics, have you designed that right from the start?
Every robot vacuum cleaner company tends to have their own system. We've got a good group of engineers working for us designing the software. This one has ultrasonic sensors all the way around the front. Some use lasers. We think the ultrasonic thing is good. It keeps it cost effective and it works really well. We think it's a great system. Never touches anything, never bashes into your furniture like other ones can. It's worked really well for us.
looking at it, the hopper where all the rubbish goes, that's quite small. Is it big enough?
A lot of people ask that question, and I like it when they ask that question because it lets me explain that this is a different way of vacuuming. So normally, get your vacuum cleaner out begrudgingly once every week or so, and you'll vacuum up 7 days worth of dirt. If you do it, most people do their vacuuming apparently, according to research done by God knows who. They do about 10 minutes a week on a weekend, which is pretty boring. This will vacuum for 2 hours every single day for you. So the end result is that your floors stay way cleaner than they otherwise would have been, which means that after you've been using this baby for a week or so, your floors haven't got that much dirt on them. So it doesn't need to have as big a dust hopper. Your regular vacuum cleaner needs a big one because it's vacuuming up a week's worth of dirt in one go. This doesn't do that.
So what about those families, myself included, who've got some pets at home, like dogs that molt? Is that a challenge?
This is our best model, the Pilot Max. It's designed to cope with any kind of dirt on any kind of floor surface, and that includes pet hair. And I mean, I would probably say something like 80% of the people that buy these are pet owners, especially at a show like this.
So show us the secret to your design then.
These are pretty crucial. All the way around we've got stair sensors, so if you spend loads of money on an awesome robot like this, you're going to want to know that it won't commit suicide. But the brilliant thing about this is the 2 brush bar design. This is why we win so many awards. So we've got one made out of rubber and one made out of bristles. And the magic happens in the middle here. So when they work in opposite directions to each other, it's almost like a scooping, grabbing action. So it really gets every single thing from your floor surface. And the cool thing is, they're really easy to remove if ever you need to clean them. Done.
And you've got a bit of suction going there as well, yeah?
Got a bit of suction. This is the bin. So it's bagless. If you want to wash this in the sink, pop the motor out. Don't put that in the sink, it's important, but you can wash this out even using water. So do that every couple of months. Keep your robot nice and spanking new.
And that's all for the moment from the Ideal Home Show here in London. Time, I think, to put my feet up. I'm Martin Stanford. That was Insight.